Top 10 foods that destroy your brain. The foods you eat every day could be silently harming your memory. Folks, your sharp memory and clear mind are treasures you want to hold on to forever, especially past 60. Those precious moments, sharing stories with grandkids, remembering family recipes, or staying quick-witted in daily life mean everything. But here's the shocking truth. Some everyday foods, like that bowl of noodle soup, crispy fried snacks, or sugary drinks, might be quietly damaging your brain. Today, we're diving into the top 10 foods scientists warn can harm your memory, focus, and even raise your risk of dementia. We're not just listing them. I'll explain exactly why these foods are trouble, how they mess with your gut, starve your brain of energy, or directly attack your nerve cells. Better yet, I'll share simple ways to spot and avoid them so you can keep your mind sharp and live healthier for years to come. Whether it's protecting your ability to recall old memories or staying alert for new adventures, this journey is for you. Ready to discover how to safeguard your brain? Let's get started. Why these foods harm your brain. And the first culprit, MSG. Let's dive into why certain foods can mess with your brain and kick things off with the first troublemaker. You see, your brain is like the control center of your body. It needs to stay sharp to keep you thinking clearly, remembering your favorite moments, and enjoying life with your family. But some foods can throw a wrench in that system in 3 big ways. First, some are straight up toxic, attacking your brain cells directly, like poison to a plant. Second, they can mess up your gut, which, believe it or not, talks to your brain all the time. When your gut's unhappy, your brain suffers too. Third, some foods block the energy your brain needs, almost like starving it. And that's tied to something called insulin resistance, which we'll unpack later. These 3 culprits, direct toxins, gut-brain issues, and energy blockage, are why certain foods make our list. Let's start with the first food, MSG, or monosodium glutamate. You've probably tasted it in that extra savory bowl of instant noodles or those crispy chips at a family gathering. MSG is a flavor booster. It makes food taste so good you can't stop eating. But here's the catch. It can overexcite your brain cells. Think of it like revving a car engine too hard. It burns out. For some folks, even a little MSG in their pho or canned soup can cause headaches or fogginess, while others might not notice a thing. The problem? It's hidden in tons of processed foods. Think snacks, fast food, even some restaurant dishes. And manufacturers are sneaky, hiding MSG under names like hydrolyzed protein or yeast extract on labels. So, what can you do? Start checking ingredient lists when you shop. If you see those tricky names, put it back on the shelf. Stick to fresh foods like veggies or home-cooked meals where you control the flavor. By dodging MSG, you're giving your brain a fighting chance to stay sharp for those card games with friends or storytelling with grandkids. Ready for the next food on the list? Let's keep going. Fish, your brain's friend with a dangerous secret. Fish might be your go-to for a healthy meal, but some types hide a secret that could harm your brain. We just learned how MSG in snacks like instant noodles can overwork your brain cells, acting like a toxin. Now let's talk about fish. Yes, the same food we're told is great for keeping our minds sharp. Those omega-3 fats and proteins in fish help you remember your grandkids' names or the recipe for that special family dish. But here's the kicker. Certain fish carry a toxin called mercury, and it's like a quiet thief stealing your brain's ability to stay quick and clear. Mercury sneaks into fish from polluted oceans, building up in big, long-living ones. It messes with your brain's wiring, making it harder to learn new things or recall old memories, like where you parked at the market. The worst culprits, swordfish, king mackerel, tuna, tilefish, and a tricky one called orange roughy. Don't let orange roughy fool you. It's small but can live over 100 years, soaking up mercury like a sponge. Eating these too often is like letting a tiny poison slip into your mind, slowly dulling your sharpness. But don't toss fish out of your diet. Safer choices like salmon or sardines are packed with brain-boosting nutrients and low in mercury. Save those risky fish for rare treats, maybe once or twice a year, like at a big family dinner. When shopping, check labels on canned tuna or ask the fishmonger where the fish comes from. If you're worried, try fish oil supplements cleaned of mercury. They give you the good stuff without the risk. By choosing wisely, you're keeping your brain ready for card games, storytelling, or just enjoying life's little moments. Want to know what food's next on the list? Alcohol, a sneaky threat to your brain and gut. That glass of wine or beer at dinner might seem harmless, but it could be quietly hurting your brain more than you think. We just saw how mercury in fish acts like a thief, sneaking in to damage your brain's wiring. Now, let's talk about alcohol, a familiar part of family gatherings or relaxing evenings. It's not just about getting tipsy. Alcohol can harm your brain in 3 ways. It's a direct toxin, it messes up your gut, and it starves your brain of energy. Let's break it down so it's easy to picture. First, alcohol is like a bully to your brain cells. It's a neurotoxin that can damage them directly. Drinking too much over time can shrink your brain, making it tougher to recall those old stories you love sharing with grandkids. Studies show heavy drinkers have smaller brains, but a single glass a day, that's usually fine. Second, alcohol can irritate your gut, causing what's called a leaky gut. Think of your gut as a gatekeeper, only letting the good stuff into your body. When it's leaky, harmful bits slip through, travel to your brain, and cause fuzziness. Like forgetting where you put your keys. Your gut and brain are like old friends, always chatting. A healthy gut, full of good bacteria, keeps this connection strong, helping you think clearly. But alcohol can throw that balance off, letting toxins sneak into your brain. Finally, alcohol can make it harder for your brain to get energy, especially if you're dealing with blood sugar issues, which we'll dive into later. So what's the fix? Keep alcohol to a minimum. 1 glass a day, or save it for special occasions like weddings or holidays. Try swapping that evening drink for a soothing herbal tea or sparkling water with a slice of lemon. Your brain will stay sharper for those long talks with friends or playing cards at the community center. Curious about the next food on our list? Artificial sweeteners. A sweet trap that starves your brain. Swapping sugar for diet soda or sugar-free snacks might seem like a healthy choice, but those artificial sweeteners could be setting a trap for your brain. We just learned how alcohol can mess with your gut and act like a bully to your brain cells. Now let's talk about artificial sweeteners. Like aspartame in your diet cola, or sucralose in that low-sugar yogurt you pick up at the store. These lab-made sweeteners were supposed to help you cut calories, but they can hurt your brain in 3 sneaky ways. They're toxic, they mess up your gut, and they leave your brain starving for energy. Aspartame, found in many diet drinks, is like a poison to your brain cells. It can make it harder to focus on a card game or remember your neighbor's name. Sucralose, often called Splenda, is in everything from chewing gum to sugar-free desserts. New studies suggest it might damage your DNA and cause a leaky gut, letting harmful stuff slip into your bloodstream and cloud your thinking. Worst of all, these sweeteners can make you crave sweets even more, pushing your body toward insulin resistance. That's when your brain can't get enough energy from sugar, like a flashlight with a fading battery. Scientists call this brain energy shortage type 3 diabetes, and it's linked to memory problems and dementia. Your brain needs steady energy to keep you sharp for family dinners or solving crossword puzzles. Normally, it uses sugar from food, but fake sweeteners mess up that process. So, what's the fix? Try natural sweeteners like stevia or monk fruit, found in some herbal teas, but only if they don't keep you hooked on sweets. Better yet, skip sweetened drinks for water or unsweetened tea, maybe with a slice of fruit for flavor. When shopping, check labels for aspartame or sucralose, and choose whole foods like apples or berries for a sweet treat. By avoiding these fake sugars, you're keeping your brain powered up for those long chats with grandkids or planning your next outing. What's the next food to watch out for? Grains, the everyday staple that might fog your mind. That bowl of rice or slice of bread you love might be more trouble for your brain than you think. We just learned how artificial sweeteners, like those in diet sodas, can trick your brain and starve it of energy. Now, let's talk about grains. Things like wheat, barley, rye, and even rice, which show up in your morning toast, noodle soup, or rice with dinner. These staples seem harmless, but they can harm your brain in two big ways. They irritate your gut and make it harder for your brain to get the energy it needs to stay sharp. Grains have tiny proteins called lectins, especially in wheat, that act like troublemakers in your gut. Picture them as guests who scratch up your furniture. They weaken your gut's protective wall, causing a leaky gut. This lets harmful stuff slip into your blood and travel to your brain, leaving you feeling foggy or sluggish after a big plate of noodles. Ever struggle to focus after a heavy meal? That could be why. Plus, grains are packed with starches that turn into sugar in your body, spiking your blood sugar and pushing you toward insulin resistance. When that happens, your brain's like a phone with a dying battery, struggling to power through family game nights or remembering old stories. The worst culprits? Refined grains, like the white flour in soft bread or pastries, which lose nutrients and hit your brain harder. What's the fix? Cut back on grains, especially white bread and processed noodles. Try swapping rice for veggies like cauliflower rice or zucchini noodles. You can find these at the market or make them at home. If you can't give up grains, go for small portions of whole grains like brown rice, and pair them with healthy fats like avocado or olive oil to slow those sugar spikes. By easing up on grains, you're clearing the fog from your mind, keeping it sharp for chatting with grandkids or solving puzzles. What's the next food we need to watch out for? White bread. The worst of grains for your brain. That soft slice of white bread in your morning sandwich might taste great, but it's one of the worst culprits for fogging up your brain. We just learned how grains like rice and wheat can irritate your gut and starve your brain of energy. Now, let's zoom in on white bread, the refined, processed version of wheat that takes those problems to a whole new level. It's in your toast, dinner rolls, or that fluffy bun with your favorite burger, but it can harm your brain in two big ways. It messes with your gut and blocks the energy your brain needs to stay sharp. White bread is made from wheat that's been stripped of all its good stuff. Think of it like a car with no fuel, just empty calories. It's loaded with lectins, those pesky proteins we talked about in grains, which act like troublemakers scratching up your gut's protective wall. This causes a leaky gut, letting harmful bits slip into your blood and travel to your brain, making you feel sluggish or forgetful after a big sandwich. Ever wonder why you feel hazy after a heavy lunch? That's part of it. Plus, white bread turns into sugar in your body faster than you can say toast, spiking your blood sugar and pushing you toward insulin resistance. When that happens, your brain's like a radio with a weak signal, struggling to keep you sharp for card games or remembering your old neighbor's name. The fix? Cut back on white bread and anything made with white flour, like pastries or soft rolls. Try swapping it for whole grain bread in small amounts. It's got more nutrients to keep your brain happy. Even better, go for veggie-based options like lettuce wraps or portobello mushroom buns for your sandwiches. When shopping, check labels for whole grain instead of enriched flour, and pair any bread with healthy fats like avocado to slow down those sugar spikes. By ditching white bread, you're clearing the haze from your mind, keeping it ready for family chats or solving those daily puzzles. What's the next food to steer clear of? Nightshades, veggies that might trouble your brain. Those tomatoes or potatoes in your favorite dishes might not always be as friendly to your brain as they seem. We just learned how white bread can fog your mind by irritating your gut and starving your brain of energy. Now, let's talk about a group of vegetables called nightshades. Things like tomatoes, eggplants, bell peppers, and potatoes, which show up in your salads, stir-fries, or Sunday family meals. These veggies are packed with nutrients, but for some folks, they can cause trouble by messing with your gut, which in turn clouds your thinking. Nightshades have those pesky proteins we've talked about before, called lectins, that can act like uninvited guests in your gut. Picture them as kids scribbling on your walls. They weaken your gut's protective barrier, causing a leaky gut. When that happens, harmful bits slip into your blood and travel to your brain, making you feel fuzzy or forgetful, like misplacing your glasses after a big plate of roasted potatoes. This is especially true for people with sensitive stomachs or conditions like arthritis, where nightshades might make things worse. Unlike white bread, though, not everyone needs to avoid these veggies. Only those who notice bloating or brain fog after eating them. So, what's the fix? You don't have to ditch these foods completely, especially if you love them. Try peeling potatoes or removing tomato seeds, since lectins hide in the skins and seeds. Cooking them well, think steaming or boiling, also breaks down those troublemakers. If you suspect nightshades are causing issues, cut back for a week and see if you feel clearer. Maybe sharper for those chats with grandkids or playing cards. Swap in other veggies like zucchini or carrots for your soups and stir-fries. At the market, ask for fresh, non-nightshade options, or stick to simple recipes you control. By being mindful, you're keeping your brain clear for remembering old stories or enjoying family time. Ready to find out the next food to watch out for? Trans fats, the hidden danger in processed snacks. Those crispy chips or creamy pastries might taste like a treat, but their trans fats could be silently wrecking your brain. We just learned how nightshade veggies like tomatoes can irritate your gut for some folks, clouding your thinking. Now, let's talk about trans fats, man-made fats hiding in processed foods like margarine, packaged cookies, or that donut you grab with your morning coffee. These fats are troublemakers, hitting your brain in 3 ways. They act like a poison to your cells, mess up your gut, and starve your brain of energy. Trans fats are like invaders that weaken your brain's powerhouses. Tiny parts inside your cells called mitochondria that keep your mind humming. When these get damaged, it's like a factory shutting down, leaving you foggy and less sharp for remembering your grandkids' school events or playing cards with friends. Trans fats also sneak into your cell walls, making them stiff and sluggish, so your brain can't send signals as well, like a phone with a bad connection. Plus, they irritate your gut, causing that leaky gut we've talked about, letting harmful stuff slip into your blood and bother your brain. And if that's not enough, trans fats boost inflammation and insulin resistance, making it harder for your brain to get the energy it needs, like a car running low on fuel. The fix? Steer clear of foods with partially hydrogenated oils on the label. Those are trans fats in disguise. Skip the packaged snacks and fast food fries and go for whole foods like nuts or avocado for a satisfying crunch. When baking, use butter or olive oil instead of margarine. At the store, check labels carefully, especially on cookies, crackers, or frozen pastries. By cutting out trans fats, you're keeping your brain's signals strong and clear, ready for those long family chats or solving daily puzzles. Swapping these harmful fats for healthier ones is a simple step to protect your mind for years to come. Fried foods, crispy treats that could cloud your mind. That plate of fried chicken or golden spring rolls might be a family favorite, but those fried foods could be quietly fogging up your brain. We just learned how trans fats in packaged snacks like cookies act like invaders, damaging your brain cells and gut. Now, let's talk about fried foods. Think French fries, fried fish, or those crispy snacks you munch on at gatherings. These treats often use oils packed with trans fats or omega-6 fats, and they hit your brain in 3 ways. They're toxic, they stir up trouble in your gut, and they make it harder for your brain to get energy. When foods are fried in cheap oils, like the vegetable oil used at many fast food joints, they soak up trans fats that weaken your brain's tiny powerhouses, those parts that keep your mind sharp for remembering your grandkids' soccer games or the name of your favorite song. These oils also spark inflammation, like a fire in your body that clouds your thinking, leaving you sluggish after a greasy meal. Plus, the starchy coatings on fried foods, like the batter on fried chicken, turn into sugar fast, pushing your body toward insulin resistance. That's like leaving your brain with a half-charged battery, struggling to keep up during card games or family chats. The good news? You can still enjoy tasty foods without the harm. Swap fried snacks for baked or grilled options. Think grilled fish or oven-baked sweet potato fries. If you're cooking at home, use stable oils like olive oil or coconut oil for light sautéing, not deep frying. At restaurants, ask how the food's prepared, and skip anything soaked in oil. When shopping, avoid pre-fried snacks like chips or frozen fried foods. By choosing these smarter options, you're keeping your brain clear and strong, ready for storytelling with friends or tackling daily puzzles without that foggy feeling. Sugar, the sweet villain that starves your brain. That sugary coffee or sweet dessert you enjoy might be the biggest threat to your brain yet. We just learned how fried foods, with their bad fats, can cloud your mind by sparking inflammation and starving your brain of energy. Now, let's talk about sugar, found in everything from your morning tea to that slice of cake at family gatherings. It's not just about a quick treat. Sugar hits your brain hard in 2 ways. It messes up your gut and blocks the energy your brain needs to stay sharp. Sugar, especially the fructose in it, acts like a troublemaker in your body. It overloads your liver, piling up fat like junk in a garage, which makes it harder for your brain to get energy. This is called insulin resistance, and it's like leaving your brain running on fumes, struggling to recall your grandkids' stories or the punchline to your favorite joke. Scientists even link this to dementia, calling it type 3 diabetes because it starves your brain. On top of that, sugar throws your gut's good bacteria out of balance, causing a leaky gut. That lets harmful stuff slip into your blood and fog up your thinking, like feeling groggy after a sugary snack. The worst part? Sugar's addictive. You crave more, and it's in so many foods, from sodas to sauces. The fix is simple but powerful. Cut back on sugary drinks and desserts. Swap that sweet tea for water with a splash of lemon or a few berries. Choose whole fruits like apples over processed sweets for a natural treat. When shopping, check labels for hidden sugars like corn syrup or dextrose. If you're baking, try a touch of honey or skip the sweetener altogether. By easing up on sugar, you're keeping your brain fueled and clear, ready for long chats with friends or tackling those daily crosswords with ease. Take charge of your brain health today. Sugar's a sweet villain, but it's just one of many foods we've uncovered that can fog your brain. From MSG in instant noodles to mercury-laden fish, alcohol, artificial sweeteners, grains, white bread, nightshade veggies, trans fats, and fried foods, these culprits harm your brain by acting like toxins, messing up your gut, or starving it of energy. We've seen how they cloud your thinking, making it harder to recall grandkid stories or stay sharp for card games. The good news? You can take simple steps to protect your mind. Start by checking labels for sneaky ingredients like partially hydrogenated oils or aspartame. Swap fried snacks for baked ones, sugary drinks for water with a splash of fruit, and white bread for veggie wraps. Choose safer fish like salmon, limit alcohol to a glass a day, and cook nightshades to reduce their bite. These small changes keep your gut happy and your brain fueled, like keeping a car in top shape. You don't need to overhaul your diet, just make smarter choices at the market or kitchen. By cutting back on these foods, you're giving your brain the power to stay clear and strong, ready for family chats, puzzles, or just enjoying life's little moments every day.